We begin tonight with a developing story. The city of Spokane faces a $30 million lawsuit for allegedly overcharging Spokane County residents for city water. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nadine Woodward. In a story you saw first on KXLY, our Jack Ferris shares what this lawsuit would mean. And Jack, we're talking about thousands of people being affected by this.
That's right, Nadine. There's about 3 main plaintiffs, but the suit was filed for 6,000 people who live just outside the city limits but pay for city water. And it all started with a golf course. For decades, the city of Spokane has contracted with people living outside the city limits to provide them water. But according to attorneys, the city has been overcharging those county residents for years.
We ended up filing a lawsuit on behalf of Fairways, arguing that the city was charging them a terribly unreasonable water rate. And as soon as we filed that lawsuit, I started getting inundated with calls from county residents who were getting water from the city.
This is basically a fixture of this entire area.
One of those residents just happened to be Fairways golf pro Chris Callum, who admits he never knew his personal water bill was so much higher than city residents because he never really looked into it.
Some people are more on top of their personal finances than others are, so I might be guilty as charged in that regard.
Now, the city has claimed the larger bill is to accommodate the cost of getting water to homes outside of the city limits. However, according to the complaint, Spokane has been encouraging developers to build outside city limits since the early 80s, as long as the landowners agreed to pay the cost of connecting to the existing water infrastructure.
So the city didn't pay 1 nickel for any of the piping or any of the facilities to put water into these homes. All they get to do is they get to provide the service to the county residents at, right now, double the rate.
It's unfair what we pay out here, and it's not just on the West Plains, it's 5 Mile Prairie, it's the Upper South Hill. We have no representation, we have no political recourse, so they can charge whatever they want, and that's what they've done all along.
Now, if you're wondering how attorney Bob Dunn settled on $30 million, here's the math. The overcharges come to about $500 a year, with at least 6,000 water bills being affected, and there's reason to believe the overcharges have been coming for at least 10 years. City of Spokane responded about 2 hours ago saying, quote, City of Spokane residents over the past 100 years have paid to expand, update, and maintain their complex water system. Then went on to say it would be unfair to ask city residents to pay more now to accommodate lower rates for outside developments. As far as the suit is concerned, the city has 60 days to respond to the complaint filed this morning. Reported from City Hall, Jack Ferris, KXLY4 News.
Thank you, Jack.